10 more Batman comic recommendations outside of these titles you see right here. Absolute Batman already has its first trade out, so definitely give this a check. It is a different take on Batman, a very savage take on Batman, but everyone's loving it, me included. Then you got to give Batman White Knight a try. This is a universe where the Joker might be going good there for a time. Batman's going a little crazy. You're wondering who's a hero, who's a villain, so that's a really fun study of both the Joker and Batman. The Tower of Babel story is a must-read for Batman. This is Ra's al Ghul stealing Bruce Wayne's plans for taking out each member of the Justice League and using that against the Justice League, and the repercussions of all the Justice League members. They're pissed at Batman for having plans to beat them. That is definitely a must-read for Batman. Batman and Son by Grant Morrison, one of my favorites. This introduces Damian Wayne. He brings a really interesting dynamic to Batman comics, and he sticks around, very prominent member still. So this is where he starts. The art and action is incredible, and just seeing Bruce Wayne interact with the son that he didn't know existed is pretty awesome. Batman the Knight by Chip Zdarsky is early days of Batman, like transitioning from Bruce Wayne to full-blown Batman. Hugo Strange is Bruce Wayne's therapist, and he is manipulating the scenes, kind of the main villain here, among others. But this is a really cool little Batman look into his early days. Jeff Lemire on Robin and Batman. This is the early days of Dick Grayson as Robin, like his first few days. Batman and Robin here, great character study of both of them. Robin even meets the Teen Titans, goes back to the cave and fills Batman in on their weaknesses. I thought that was cool. So definitely one of the best looks into Batman and Robin. Tom King's Batman Rebirth Era. This is volume 4, The War of Jokes and Riddles. Nice self-contained story. You could read this without reading the rest of the series. But it's two very iconic Batman rogues at war with one another. A bunch of villains take both sides, so there's a lot of characters involved. The Riddler's at his best here, much more cunning, less goofy than his kind of normal character. But this one kind of became a classic in my eyes. James Tynion on Batman, Volume 1, Their Dark Designs. This immediately follows City of Bane, the climax of the Rebirth Batman. This is really spectacular. This has Deathstroke versus Batman. He's not the main villain. They actually introduce a new villain kind of as an idea, no spoilers, but there's many of the main rogues involved: Riddler, Catwoman, Joker. This is a really fun, high-paced Batman stuff with some detective stuff, with a really interesting story. This is actually one of my favorites. I think it's underrated. The New 52 Batman and Robin is the perfect Batman and Robin comic, in my opinion. The whole series is pretty solid. The dynamic of father and son here is incredible. The way they challenge each other yet love each other so much. You're going to see actually more sides of Damian here, like the loving son, not just the asshole assassin in here. Just they're both at their best. I highly recommend it. Another Rebirth era comic. This is James Tynion's Batman Detective Comics. I think this one was really special. Batman's building a team of super random characters. As you can see, even Clayface is on here. But then you get Batwoman and Spoiler and Cassandra Cain. They all get great moments. Tim Drake is at his best here as well. There is a solid mystery throughout. There's a lot to love about this. Each character has a really solid arc in here. I think it's really well done just across the board.